Cops of Reddit, what's the weirdest thing you've ever had to arrest someone for? An officer I know was called in during a domestic dispute and the guy came out holding his testicles in his hands. His wife had slashed his scrotum open and they were dangling. I'm not a cop, but my close buddy of mine had a dad who was a SWAT officer in Orange County. He said one time they had to arrest this guy who would put on a rain jacket and hide in the tank of a porta potty waiting for people to relieve themselves on him. Ugh. I had to arrest someone for slamming their head into a little market's wall over and over. Her reasoning was because they wouldn't sell her a dildo. For those that are familiar, this was a shopette on a military base. For those that aren't familiar with military bases, it was like a 7-Eleven. Smearing himself in his own shit before making his way to Main Street and throwing it at others, including us. In my city we had a fella with mental health issues. He started to drink and take drugs, making his behavior more erratic. I locked him up 3 times for assault. The assault being shoving his finger up his own shitty ass and rubbing it in the face of passers-by. He tried it with me, but the drink and drugs slowed him down enough that I could drop him before he wiped me. My dad had to arrest a guy who was high and walking around town in nothing but his underwear, and when he found him, the guy pulled a rib out of his underwear and started eating it. My father once had to arrest a 70-year-old man who was attempting to drive his granddaughter's toy Jeep on the highway, naked. He wasn't senile. My buddy is the sergeant of police in my town. He said he had to arrest a guy for eating the concrete under a bridge in my town, back in the days of bath salts. Another time was he had to arrest a guy in a hotel parking lot. The man was in the bushes, naked, and covered in blood, only wearing a condom. Pretty bizarre stuff. I have arrested a man not once, but twice for having sex with a dead white-tailed deer corpse. He likes fresh roadkill for some reason. I had a cop search my backpack once and found a couple of beers and a box of condoms. I was with my friends at the time, so he was like, "Why are there 3 beers, a box of condoms and 2 dudes?" I was speechless. Stealing a bag of dildos and butt plugs. At a local bed-bug-infested hotel, a lovely resident contacted us regarding his backpack containing money being stolen off the bench outside the room. Said he knows who took it. Watched the security tape, saw the gentleman from the room next door take the bag and go back inside. Made contact with him, he admits to it and says he threw it out but used the money in the outside pouch to buy some dope. The complainant fills out an itemized list of contents of the bag. We later find the bag and sure enough, it contained all 30 dildos he said it did.